Students, engineering, civil engineering, construction students ask some of the best questions. And I just got an email the other day with a globally known school. Their engineering students asked me some questions. So we're going to break this up into multiple episodes so we can get some complete answers here. In this episode of How Hiring Happens, let's get started. So the first question is, what advice would you give to students who are about to enter the construction field? Well, the advice is construction is really a good long-term career. It is going to be challenging at any given time. For those of you that are watching this, not on the podcast, you're going to see this is Caltech. This is a engineering building going up here. It's beautiful. They're past halfway done, and this is something that you might work on. Next, you will work on various projects. So what you should do, and the advice I'd give you, is learn how to solve problems and really dig in. Have a passion for construction. You probably know that you have a passion for engineering and maybe construction from when you were growing up. It's really common to hear students give us examples that they used to play all the time with Legos, Lincoln Logs, erector sets, something like that. They'd help their parents, usually their father, working around the house, fixing things, plumbing, electrical, what have you. You would have people who had family in construction, and they just loved it. People that like construction really know they like it pretty early on. So I would give you that advice, and I would also say construction is really a local, usually a pretty local thing in most cases. Most subcontractors and builders, they can be national, but even locally in Los Angeles, it's a very small world. You better get used to really enjoy working with people. It's like that 24/7. Every day you're on the job, you're dealing with people, you're solving problems. On this building behind me, as you can see, and for those that can't, those are copper facing external pieces. So there were probably a lot of challenges trying to figure out how to put those on, how to make them fit, how to make them last. I would say really understand that construction is really about working with people and solving problems. Putting together the building is where you're going to be doing a lot of that. Working with your teammates, working with subcontractors, working with your boss, working with the client, working with an architect, negotiating, how do we get this done? Oh, there's always challenges that happen on a construction project. Things are not perfect. So that advice would be learn how to solve problems, learn how to be unafraid to try something, learn how to work with people, learn how to communicate. So that was question one. Now question two are, what are the three most important skills that a project engineer must have? And a project engineer is usually an entry-level title. Project engineer, sometimes it's field engineer. They're kind of similar. The three most important skills, I would say, are that you're intellectually curious, that you like to solve problems, and that you're a very good communicator. And let's break those down. So you're unafraid to try new things. Now, I'm not saying that if you're a brand new person on the job that you're going to be willing to, take responsibility for laying down the big steel I-beams, but you're going to get a really easy, quick knowledge of, okay, I'm good at this, I can do these tasks, and now what's next? Intellectually curious, the second one, is that you're willing to learn. You're always willing to learn, and it goes along with the first item where you're willing to try new things. And being curious is once you get done for the day, or if you get your tasks done and you can go to your boss, and very successful people in construction, when they were starting out, a lot of stories I've heard is they went to their boss and said, hey, you know what, I just finished all the stuff for the day, I got about an hour, what else can I do? What else can I help with? That is always phenomenal, willing to learn. And the third thing is really learning to communicate well. And what does that mean? What it means is, we hear this in college all the time. You have to be a good communicator. You got to be a good communicator. Well, what it means is communicating up, down, and sideways within your company and all over the place. So communicating with your teammates, communicating with your boss, communicating with the subcontractors. Just looking at this project behind me, I can see you've got exterior stuff, you've got glass, you've got steel, you've got drywall, obviously plumbing and electrical. All those subcontractors. You need to learn how to be a good communicator, which means be a good listener. Those are some of the keys that, of the top 3 of some of the most important skills that you can learn and continue to learn throughout your career. I'm Alan Fleur, and this is How Hiring Happens. Look forward to the next episode where we answer some of the other questions.